beloved brethren, and of course, sister, or may I call you friends? For indeed, we are friends, at least before I commence my sermon. Before I commence my sermon, there are two things that I would like to bring to your attention. Yes, firstly, you will be much distressed and saddened to hear that Blenkinsop, our beloved gravedigger, has dug his last dig and gone to a better place, Tahiti with the postmistress. Seeing that he and his much distressed wife had no children, I am doing all I can to help. The wife, that is, with the children, in the distress. And secondly, the verger has asked me to announce that the notice on the door of the gentleman's conveniences stating wet floor is advisory and not instructional. So, for my sermon today, I will take that well-known piece of Antipodean poetry. Indeed, it was made popular in song. Once a jolly swagman, camped by a billabong, under the shade of a coolibah tree, he sang his watch and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Ladies and gentlemen, have any of you ever camped by a billabong? I must say that I have never camped by a billabong myself. I once camped by Lake Windermere, which does not, as I recall, have a billabong, nor a coolibah tree for that matter. But I'm sure it must be a wonderful thing, especially under that shade of that coolibah tree. Oh, but why was he there? Aha! Yes, why was he there? Happily camped by a billabong? Well, to boil his billy, of course. And where better to boil one's billy but in such a location as by a billabong? Moreover, he sang as he boiled his billy. Well, you would, wouldn't you? Sing, that is. I'm sure that I would. If I was boiling my billy, I would sing. I might even whistle. But no, he sang. In fact, he sang, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Now, there was no indication as to who or whom this Matilda was. But she was certainly important to him. Important to him as he boiled his billy. It makes you think, doesn't it? And I want you to bear this in mind. As a matter of fact, my dear lady wife had an Aunt Matilda. She ran Ye Old English Refreshment Rooms in Ashby de la Zouch. Wouldn't be the same person, of course. I don't think they have billabongs in Ashby de la Zouch. Not many billies boil there, hey? Ashby de la Zouch, that is. But on the other hand, chaps might very well boil their billies in the Old England refreshment rooms. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. To continue. Then the excitement begins, quite suddenly. As he was boiling his billy, down came a jumbuck to drink at the billabong. Up jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee. And he sang as he stood that the jumbuck in his tucker bag. Oh, come a waltzing Matilda with me. Well, dear friends, I have never stowed a jumbuck in my tucker bag. Have you? A sizable tucker bag, no doubt. For myself, I have quite a small tucker as a rule, but sometimes my tucker is bigger when it needs to be. But my tucker was never as big as that. The jolly swagman's tucker must have been huge. Maybe jolly swagmen have huge tuckers. I don't know. I've never really given a thought to anything about, like, other chaps' tuckers. But sizable though his bag was, I would imagine it would have been no easy task all the same. to stuff a jumbuck into it, especially considering that he was boiling his billy at the same time. It makes you think, doesn't it? And yet again he sang Waltzing Matilda, Waltzing Matilda. But now there is even more excitement. Up rode the squatter, mounted on his thoroughbred. Down came the troopers. 1, 2, 3. Who's that jolly jumbuck you've got in your tucker bag? You come a waltzing Matilda with me? Shall we just give those words a few moments' thought, ladies and gentlemen? A thoroughbred mounted squatter and 3 troopers. And no doubt the question you're asking yourselves is, have they also come down to the billabong to boil their billies? They might have. However, we're not given to know this. But what we are given to know is the words that they uttered. Who's that jolly jumbuck you've got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me? Now, this word whose, as in who's that jolly jumbuck, being a possessive pronoun, is a curious one, which the jolly swagman was unable to answer. But if it had been whose, as in who is that jolly jumbuck you've got in your tucker bag, he might very well have said, Eric. It makes you think, doesn't it? It certainly does make me think. But did you notice the reference? Did you notice their reference to dancing with Matilda as well? She certainly seems to get about, doesn't she? Our waltzing Matilda. But then this simple question about his tucker, and indeed his bag, plus the jumbuck, of course, hits a raw nerve with the jolly swagman. For now he gives all the appearance of being jolly no more, as the song tells us. Up jumped the swagman and sprang into the billabong. You'll never catch me alive, said he. His ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. It sounds a bit drastic, doesn't it? This springing into billabongs. What's behind it all, you are no doubt pondering, as indeed I am myself, and quite a ponder it is too. In fact, my own particular ponder kept me awake at night, as I find that my ponders often do keep me awake at night, that is. Your ponders may very well keep you awake too. Ponders have a habit of doing that. Oh, but I digress. Back to the poem, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he sprang into the billabong, informing the thoroughbred mounted squatter and 3 troopers that they would never catch him alive. And indeed they never did, for we are told only his ghost remained. Also apparently singing about the mysterious dancing Matilda. It makes you think, doesn't it? Perhaps boiling billies by billabongs is not a wise thing to do. Not when Matilda comes into it, that is. So let that be a lesson to us all. Let that be a lesson to us all. For my sermon next week, we shall look at the revelations and ramifications of that most memorable Merseyside meme. It's been a hard day's night, etc., 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 with particular reference to dogs and logs. I would like you to bear that in mind before you arrive next week. Amen.